Mr. Speaker, I want to turn to the Honorable Priya Manik-Chan, the former Minister of Education. She was Minister of Education in this country in her last stint from 2020 to 2025. Mr. Speaker, I will leave 2020 out and I will leave 2025 out because she did not have tenure for the entire year. And I go to the budget, and at the back, I look at the matriculation rate. When she entered the first full year in 2021, the matriculation rate was 30%, and then the last full year of 2024, the matriculation rate was 26%. The Honorable Priya Manik-Chan has been a failure at the Ministry of Education. And I want to go back to the Honorable Priya Manik-Chan again, sir. When she spoke about the road passing near the Higgs-Bosch dump site, she said it was a design flaw. But you know what I know, sir? There have been so many design flaws in this country. I want to start with them. There was a design flaw on the Skeldon Estate. There was a design flaw with the Amelia Falls. There was a design flaw with the Concussion Highway, which now needs an asphaltic layer. There is a design flaw with the gas to energy. You have to stabilize the soil. There's a design flaw on the Barrett John Deere Bridge. The trucks are rolling back. There is a design flaw with everything, including Priya Manik-Chan. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Diadat Indar, the Honorable Susan Rodriguez, the Honorable Keoma Griffith, they came out and they rolled out the private sector GAU. Mr. Speaker, we on this side and the country of Guyana are not impressed by those endorsements of the budget. Those are all politically captured organizations, and this whole country knows that, sir. Mr. Speaker, but this is a government prone to untruth, sir. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa got up and denied that the budget said that the amount allocated to fisheries had been reduced. And Mr. Speaker, I don't have to look at the budget. On page 37, it says that in 2025, 1.7 billion was spent and 1.5 billion is budgeted in 2026. Mr. Speaker, but that is not the only thing for the Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa. I put a question to him through this Honorable House, asking him, where do imports come, poultry imports come? And his response, from which countries do poultry imports come? And his response to it, it is not considered appropriate to provide the names of business entities or individuals. It seems that the Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa does not know the difference between countries and business entities and individuals. And that lack of comprehension runs across the entire side on the other side. But Mr. Speaker, I didn't come to fight, but I have to fight. And Mr. Speaker, I was a good fighter. And I have to pick a very strong fight. The Honorable Charles Ramson got up in this house and spoke about reparations and the representation of His Excellency President Irfan Ali. But I want to say to you, Mr. Speaker, that no government that bulldozes the people at Makkah and that is getting ready to bulldoze the people at Safari this weekend can adequately represent the cause of African Guyanese on reparations. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to tone it down a little bit. I want to turn my attention to my friend, the Honorable, I have the unenviable task, sir, of addressing two portfolios, health and finance. So I have to quickly deal with the Honorable Minister of Health. The Honorable Minister of Health says that he has adequate nurses and adequate doctors. But, Mr. Speaker, Onessa Andrews is not alive today. She died on December 12th because she could not get timely treatment at the Enmore Regional Hospital and at the Georgetown Public Hospital. She has passed. We have received reports from Diamond. We have received reports from Diamond where people have to wait inordinate delays to see a doctor. Mr. Speaker, the nurses at the Bath Regional Hospital, they complain about burnout. The nurses at the Bath Regional Hospital, they complain about the foreign nurses. The foreign nurses get a bigger salary and they get transportation, they get food, they get accommodation. But Mr. Speaker, and I'm going to jump ahead, there's a nefarious plan of this government. They want to get rid of the local nurses and to bring Bangladeshi nurses. Mr. Speaker, it is not lost on me that 150 Bangladeshis voted in the national election at Ogle. They had a polling station organized for them, sir. And it is this importation. The Bangladeshi government says they are going to put a high commission in Guyana to explore the labor market, sir. There is a need, there is a determination on behalf of this government that they will change the political calculus and the demographics of this country. But we will oppose it, sir. Mr. Honorable, you will have an opportunity to respond. Honorable Minister, I am confused by your numbers. You are building regional hospitals, but you have a nurse shortage. The budget says that the number of nurses per 10,000 has gone down from 34.4 to 32.5. You have less nurses and you're building more hospitals. So I know your answer. You say you're going to build 5,000, you're going to train 5,440 nurses and allied health professionals. But this government has a problem. It does not like to disaggregate data, sir. So how many allied health professionals? How many nurses? And then he says, the Honorable Minister says, that he's going to bring in 6,000 nurses, train and recruit. Where are you recruiting them from? Mr. Speaker, bringing foreign nurses to this country as we chase our own out is not putting our people first. We must put our people first. And there is no way foreign nurses will take the care of us as the way our own will do. Mr. Speaker, I am sorry that the Vice President is not here because I want to reference a Facebook post by a close relation of his, and I will send it to you, sir. I've already sent you stuff.
Mr. Speaker.
Dr. Mark de France, and I want to quote him very quickly.
Honorable Minister of Health.
Mr. Speaker, a point of order. The honorable member came to this house and said that we have Bangladeshi nurses in Guyana. I want him to tell me in which institution.
Honorable members, please. We can only have one speaker. You have 12 over there. Honorable, yes, you just need to identify on which standing order you're quoting.
Point of order 40, Mr. Speaker. 40A. Can the honorable member say to this house in which hospital this government has employed Bangladeshi nurse? Because as far as I know, not a single Bangladeshi nurse was employed in the public sector. So if he's coming here, let him get his facts correct.
Honorable members, if you have that information, please provide it.
Mr.
That we
Speaker,
have Bangladeshi nurses.
Mr. Speaker, I believe I said that the nurses at Bath Hospital complained about the treatment of the foreign nurses. And then I went on to reference the importation of Bangladeshi, because I've seen an add to that effect. And I have seen that the Bangladeshi government is establishing a high commission, plans to establish a high commission in Guyana to exploit the labor market, sir. Mr. Speaker, if I may say one more thing, just on this.
Honorable member, I don't know if the Bangladeshi government is about to establish a high commission here. But if they do, I think it will be a little bit, I don't want to use that word, for us to impute they're doing that just to exploit, right? That will be a bad footing for us to start our international diplomatic relations formally with the Bangladeshis.
Mr. Speaker, I can lay over a report. It's a news item that says the Bangladeshi government.
Okay, but we don't use the news
I'm so guided,
items.
sir. I want to
Right.
move on.
We don't use.
Thank you.
You're getting back your time, honorable member, please. Let's continue. We got that clarification from you. Thank you. And thank you, Minister of Health.
Mr. Speaker, I want to quote from Dr. Mark DeFrance, who works at the Georgetown Hospital and probably well known to most in this honorable house. And he says, "We have had billion-dollar budgets and our healthcare system still lacks. Why can't we get a simple coag profile available at our topmost hospital? Why are we still short of so many needed medications? Don't come for me. Go outside East Street and ask every patient that leaves whether or not their prescription was fulfilled. Yes, we need infrastructure, but infrastructure only benefits a certain subsection of our population. Our pensioners, our single mothers, our differently abled need way more than has been offered." Sir, Dr. Mark DeFrance works at the Georgetown Public Hospital and is a close relation of the Honorable Vice President. And here it is. Sir, we cannot put this budget, put bricks ahead of people. Mr. Speaker, I want to turn to the issue quickly of expired medications. The Honorable Vince Roy Jordan highlighted a case of a cancer patient at the New Amsterdam Hospital who received expired cancer drugs more than once. And we know the Honorable Dr. Ryan Richards mentioned about 1.7 billion in drugs that were expired that had to be disposed. And that was just for an 8 or 9 month period. Extrapolated for an entire year, we are disposing about 2.3 billion Guyana dollars in drugs, sir. And I want to say that I believe that the Honorable Minister set targets for the pharmacists to reduce the number of the drugs for disposal, and instead of disposing them, they are passing them on to unsuspecting patients. Just to stay within a certain level of what they call in the Auditor General's report an acceptable tolerance. This is unacceptable. There is no putting people first when we dispense expired drugs. Mr. Speaker, I want to touch a number of people who passed away tragically in just the last 4 months. DeAndre Prashad died September 22nd. Both kidneys removed without disclosure. Narissa Chetram lost her baby and her womb on November 8, 2025. Latoya Griffith died on November 20th, 2025 at New Amsterdam Hospital after being given drugs to induce labor prior to a scheduled cesarean. Marissa Eastman died tragically on January 18, 2026 after plunging to her death at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Sir, these deaths could have been prevented through protocol. These are protocol violations and lack of proper counseling and inordinate delays for treatment, sir. Honorable Frank Kennedy, I know you can do better. You must do better with our healthcare system. But listen, I don't want you to think, Honorable Frank, that I just came here to criticize. I came here to share my vision as the APNU shadow on health. And what I want to recommend to you is a national health service where every single citizen in this country is given a general practitioner. And that general practitioner will be required to see them every single year, make sure that they have their checks. And we must never have undiagnosed colon cancer, undiagnosed cervical cancer, undiagnosed prostate cancer, undiagnosed breast cancer ever again. Listen, Honorable Frank Anthony, the 10,000 vouchers, and I recognize you yesterday for the work you are doing, but you need to do more. A 10,000 voucher and a Gardasil vaccine, those are not enough. I want you to focus more on curative care, on preventive care. I'm not saying to leave curative care aside, but I want you to emphasize preventative care a little more. Mr. Speaker, I know time is running, and I must turn to my good friend. I knew him, and I knew his father, the Honorable Ashley Kumar Singh. The Honorable Priya Manikchan referenced Article 13 and consultations. But there was no consultation with this budget, sir. He did not consult with the opposition. He fooled the private sector. Sir, look at these volumes. He called the private sector 1 week before and tried to suggest to them that he had consulted with them. Or at least that is what the newspapers say. Mr. Speaker, there are records in this budget. It was the largest budget ever. It was the longest speech ever. And it was the emptiest budget ever. For those of us concerned with macroeconomic stability, sir, the budget deficit is 450 billion. Total public debt is rising, with more than half of that total public debt being financed with foreign debt, sir. A rising external debt load becomes dangerous and will lead to depreciation in the Guyana dollar. Sir, the debt service as a percentage of revenue is projected to climb to 6.8%. In the last year, he is projecting that it would have risen from 1.3%. Here is what you do not know on that side, because you're not steep in finance. At this rate, in 6 years, we will exceed 15%, and Guyana will enter a region of financial instability. Sir, economic growth declined, and he did not say this, from 43.8 in 2024 to 19.3 to 2025, and is projected to fall further to 16.2%. This growth is being driven primarily by oil. Sir, non-oil economic growth will decline from 14.3 to 10.2. This is a dangerous trend, because what we need to be focusing in this country is on our non-oil economy. And that non-oil economy, even at 10.2%, is driven by construction and other mining, which is quarrying and sand. Those are what are driving. So if you eliminate those, you probably end up with a 5% non-oil growth. Oil is volatile.
Honorable members, your 5 minutes to conclude will start now.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not saying no infrastructure, but it must be paced in line with our absorptive capacity. Infrastructure tends to be inflationary in the short term. But when you have such a heavy infrastructure budget, sir, and then the roads that you build, you build a road between Diamond and Craig, and then 6 months you have to do it over. You build the Heroes Highway, then you have to go put an asphaltic layer. Then that short-term inflationary effect from infrastructure becomes a medium to long-term inflationary effect, sir. The new Berbice Bridge, there's absolutely no need for it at this time. The lowest cost, that quotation that they got, the lowest tender, was US 255 million. Sir, I want to talk quickly about the imbalance in the regional distribution of resources. There is a new bridge going to Berbice, a gas pipeline, an oil and gas training institute, the National Ophthalmology Institute, a new stadium, a new airport at Rose Hall, a deep water port, a recording studio at Port Moran, a culture center at Palmyra, a cricket academy, a medical school. There is an act. We have a law on the books. It's called the Fiscal Transfers Act, and it was enacted in 2013, while the Honorable Minister would have been the Senior Minister of Finance, not hiding under the constitutional skirt of the President for immunity, but he stood on his own then, and he is not following the Fiscal Transfers Act. Mr. Speaker, I know my time is running out, but I brought a gift for him. I brought a gift. This is for the Natural Resource Fund. And the Honorable Anil is not here. He would jump up and say sub judice. But I am not going to go there, sir. The Natural Resource Fund, and this is Ghana. And in Ghana, the oil money goes into the consolidated fund, yet they account for every cent in a report called the annual budget funding amount. And I have already sent this to you, sir, electronically, and this is a gift for the Honorable Minister of Finance, for him to see how he should do his work properly. Mr. Speaker, they are using the NRF as a person, as an ATM. Mr. Speaker, sometimes the Honorable Indar spoke about the dredging of the Damar River. But what is not said is that that will go to a friend, family, and favorite. Mr. Speaker, I cannot leave the Honorable Vikram out. Mr. Speaker, we know the numbers. In 2019, when the AP and UAFC government was there, gold declaration was 641,828 ounces at $13.92 an ounce. Gold declaration in 2025 had a average price of $3,035. But yet, the declarations were much lower, sir. My estimate is that Guyana is losing up to $1.7 billion in earnings from gold because of smuggling. I hope that's not unparliamentary, sir. So, sir, we are seeing the exchange rate pressure we're seeing the exchange rate pressure from the infrastructure spend and also from the gold smuggling, sir. The exchange rate, and I checked this on Monday, on the street, which I believe to be the real value of the Guyana dollar, was not available at 235, and you could only get it at 240 to 1. Everybody expected when Guyana got oil that this country, the currency would have been appreciating. Instead, we have a rapidly depreciating currency. Sir, we are importing bananas. We are importing our poultry imports. We used to be self-sufficient in poultry. That is double. We used to be self-sufficient in beef. That is double, sir. This government does not care for the poor. If it cared for the poor, it would have, there's an issue of data paucity in this country. It would have proper data on poverty, sir. So give me 1 second here. A policy that would requires frequent, transparent, and granular data. Child versus adult poverty, sir. Pensioners versus working age poverty. Poverty by ethnicity, and poverty across economic sectors. When you look at what was given for the safety net in this budget, this government is heartless, and I'm disappointed in the Honorable Ashley Singh, who I knew since he was a young man, and I still am a close friend of his father if I see him today. Mr. Speaker, the challenge is clear, and I know I am grateful for you for the time that you have given me, sir. But I want you to know, the AP and you will continue to hold this government accountable, to press for policies that protect lives, reduce poverty, and provide livable incomes, and stop illicit transactions. I'm not using that word, sir. Stop illicit transactions or stop graft in this country. The president had promised to address this graft issue, but there are no measures in the budget to address graft. We will offer constructive proposals. We will collaborate where possible. We will oppose measures that harm the majority. On this basis, and until real people-first change is demonstrated, I'm unable to support this budget. And I want to tell you, the Honorable Ashley Singh, and all those of you whom, with your hubris, said to us, we are consigned over here forever. The APNU will put people first. Now, and when we return to office, very soon, very shortly, in 2030. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much.